Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm recording this actually on October, checking my calendar, 12th of the morning. Forgive it. I know I'm a little informal today. I'm prepping, I guess, for the WV football game, had my hat on, but I wanted to make sure to get everything recorded. So, with that being said, a few things, just kind of shopkeeping, I guess, so to speak. One, thank you all very much for your patience with the Ed puzzles. I know I had emailed a few people, I couldn't open them. Depending how you sent the link, one of my blocker on my home computer, which I'm actually on now, would not open them. I didn't pick up what was going on until I got into my office. There was the long story short, the way depending how you sent it, the addresses were slightly different, and I don't know what it was about my blocker that wouldn't let me open them. Just thank you for your patience is basically what I'm saying. So they should be all graded and up to date. If the ed puzzles don't have a grade on them, that is because it's still marked private because I went into my office computer and it's still showing marked for private. Other than that, thank you all very much. And to add to that, a few people have emailed me some things that I guess, for various reasons. I think all that should be put into the system at this point or in Brightspace. If you don't have a grade for something you emailed, just email me. I will update it. One of those things. With a class like this being online, sometimes there's just little technical issues. But again, thank you for your patience. With that being said, I think that's pretty much it. Work has been awesome. Ed puzzles were fantastic. I know QR codes should be graded. I'm actually pretty caught up. Thank goodness. QR codes were fantastic. I think there was one or two people I emailed just because there was some sort of quirk with the link. Double check that. And then again, if you see like a 6 or a 7, that's usually not your grade. It's just a attention getter. Usually I try to put in a quirky number so people will read the comments and just email them to me. But again, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this week. As you can see, for this coming week, it'll be the 14th through the 20th. Big thing we're going to do is Wakelet. I'm going to give a little bit of an overview, and actually, I'm going to share a link. It's actually the Tech Like a Pirate book has a website, and it has a nice little thing on Wakelet. Wakelet's a pretty easy tech to use. I do use it a lot. Some people will tell you, and I don't disagree with them, that you can do similar things with Google. Basically, with Google Drive, you can create folders. Basically, Wakelet is an e-portfolio. I just like it because it's easier for students to share work and it's easier to share things with other people than Google. Because I don't know if you've ever experienced this. Sometimes you have to have Google logins. And if you're using a school Google account, it sometimes won't open things or won't give permissions. So it's just a little easier to use. It's free. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. Alrighty. Did I do that on my Chrome or did I do it on my Safari? I have it right here. Sorry, I got this big bar right here in the front. Can't see what I got. Yep, Wakelet. All right. Few things. You know what? Before I actually show you Wakelet, I did pull something up I wanted to show you all, and I'm going to put this link up. But Wakelet, there's a nice little video here on the Ditch That textbook. That's Tech Like a Pirate is part of this like family of books. Um, Long story short, there is a nice little video here of Wakelet in 5 minutes. I'm not going to play it. I'll make sure that this link is up here if you want to watch it. But basically, as it says here, Wakelet is basically it's a gathering place. I think there's a lot of different ways you can use it. I use it more as an information gathering thing for myself. So, for example, if I'm researching something, just watching TV, and I'm trying to like prep for a lesson, or especially when I was a social studies teacher and doing that full time, it was something easy. I could throw information I found online or documents in one spot, and I could go back. It was just a dumping ground, kind of a prep folder. But it can also be used with students, as it says right here. Students can create collections. If you're an English teacher, a lot of times, if you want to have students create an e-portfolio and share it with their parents at the end, you can do things like that. I've also seen where students have given access, you can collaborate and students can dump things in, sort of like a hyperdrive that we talked about with Google Classroom and Google Drive, gosh, over a month ago now. But you can work collaboratively. But again, here's a nice little video. You can check it out. But I think the way to look about it is basically it's a portfolio system. I'm going to kind of show it to you from the point of view of a teacher because that's how I use it. But I do just want to give a little shout out here, as you can, as it says here, it's something that students can use to, like, if they're doing research projects. I had mine use it when we were doing social studies fair, and I would have research days. Students would be able to dump things in there, and I could kind of see what sources they were using. So if maybe you have a research project, it's just an easier portfolio to use than maybe a lot of the others. Like I say, this is not to say that I don't use Google Drive or anything like that, or if you're at Shepherd or OneDrive, I do use those systems. Um, Wakelet just to me is just a little simpler, especially to give. It just, if you're doing something, you don't have to log in and do all this. Well, you do need to log in, but it's just, if you're working collaboratively, it doesn't get quite as tricky. Uh, Hey, as you can see, I forgot to say it was portfolio of the year, or the year of the portfolio. I'm sorry, I'm giving them proper credit that maybe they didn't earn. Also, if you can wade through the ads, this page also does highlight a few things related to how you can use the portfolios. Again, it's a nice way for students to showcase their work. I like the aspect that you can share this with parents pretty easily. I worked at a school. I wasn't a language arts teacher, but she used to share portfolios at the end of the student's year with parents, and the parents loved it. Today, we have so much, everything's done online. This is a nice way that you might be able to just very easily share something with a parent, and they don't have to have a Google account, or they don't have to worry about logging in and fighting all that and getting 6 million emails. Why can't you open it? Um, Also, it's just one of those things where the digital aspect, getting students to get used to using digital type work. And again, you can get it very subject specific. I mentioned I used it for social studies fair. Of course, you could use this for science fair. You can use it in English if they're doing a research project. You can use it in math if you're having things like reflections and things like that, or just note taking. Um, and again, it's just easy to collaborate. So, with all that being said, what is Wakelet? I'm going to show it to you. Pretty simple. I think I have it right over here. Again, I keep putting this. I'm not on my work computer, so I'm working a little bit on one screen here. All right. Wakelet. You just go to wakelet.com, and I'll just give, I know I give this disclaimer all the time. You'll see pricing up here. Don't worry about that. You can join a free account, do the free account. There are a lot of bells and whistles. They have, like, a lot of these, added a lot of different templates. Some of them are free, some of them aren't. I'm not asking you to buy anything that you um, don't want to buy. And by the way, for this class, you don't need to buy. So all you need to do is log in. Just like everything else, Google will work. There is a Google aspect. I actually, for some weird reason, have this tied into my Shepherd account. So we'll go right there. And I'm going to do that. And my account's already created. And you're going to see all my stuff pop up here in a minute. And why don't I get all that gunk behind my screen? Folders, my Mac's a mess. Um, so it doesn't distract. A little slow. Saturday morning, everyone's online at the house. Yeah, I put a lot of GIFs on mine just so they catch my eyes. But as you can see, I do things like when I've taught this class live, I've used it for station work. Um, if you want to know how to do it, everyone, I collaborated, and there's folders within, and students had to look at specific things within it. I've done research things when I've done inquiry exercises, research, um, education tech. Usually, if I find anything, I throw it in this Wakelet folder. Um, I just did a presentation on Shepherd's campus, and when I was doing it, I threw all the, if you want to know what a fossil is, it's focused on student learning. Um, I threw everything in there, and anyone that was interested in it, I just gave them the link to this Wakelet. So it's a nice little info gathering. So you're probably saying, this is all great. You're kind of babbling. What do I need to do? Well, let's just go back. Well, let me show you, and then I'll kind of show you what you need to do. When you get to this page, yours will probably be blank. You're just going to hit create collection. And as you can see, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can do lesson planning in here. You can do research oriented where it's spaced out. You can do planners. You can do choice boards. This is all cool stuff, and you are welcome to add stuff and complete your assignment. For the assignment itself, I just want you to get used to Wakelet to kind of see what it is. So all you need to do is create a blank collection. And first thing you got to do is give it a name. So I'm just going to do, my son is doing something on the French Revolution. So I'm going to just type in French Revolution because we were talking a little bit about it last night, not the French Evolution. Sorry, my computer is struggling a little bit this morning. All right, there we go. And you can give it a description. Um, um, uh, a major change. This is kind of was, but kind of simple. That's pretty cool, pretty simple. Now, what you need to do is you're going to pick content and kind of similar. Some people had emailed me some questions about the Google or the Kahoot and whether you had to do it based the questions based on content. Yes, anything you do in this class needs to be based on content. If you're elementary, you can just pick what subject content. If you're in English, just pick an English topic that you might be teaching and put it in here, or base your lesson or your technology around that. Anyway, so I'm doing the French Revolution. And as you can see, there's different things. I can do a type, I can add text, I can add an image, I can add a PDF, I can add a web address. What we're going to do, we're going to cheat a little bit and toggle. Let's go back, move this thing out of the way again. Move this ugly face out of the way. And we're going to do French Revolution. Timeline. And what do I want to do? I have to admit, I'm not going to get too cute here. I'm just going to do hotel. Encyclopedia Britannica, Hotel Britannica. I'm going to hit that. Whoops. That was, you can tell I'm struggling this morning. All right, let's hit that again. Refresh. There we go. Let's highlight it again. And we'll go back to our Wakelet. And I'm just going to paste that in there. Little clunky steps, but as you can see, it will just go in there. It gives me the summary of the page. You are more than welcome to add text. You don't have to do that. But just again, I don't know. Let me hit a PDF here. I'm going to hit PDF. And maybe I have one in here. I'm going to cheat a little. Oh, I got tons of PDFs. All right, let's just hit one. We'll do social studies lenses. And I'll just go ahead and put that in there. It's not really got much to do with the French Revolution, but it's going to be there. And it'll pop up. And voila. And you can click the 3 little dots there. And, oh, sorry. And you can actually, it's slow. There you go. If you want to move things, you can slide it there. If you want to add text, it should let us open that. Of course, some blockers going there, but that's okay. Sleep over that either. Let's hit the text here. As you can see, you can add something and click it. Sorry, it's very much a little slow here. There we go. I think I was getting a little click happy, but you can add text there. I'm not going to get into that too much. You don't have to add any text that's in there as long as the summary is there. And that kind of gives me the first thing. There we go. Oh, sorry. Saturday morning, it's having a tough time. I would probably clean that up from the first part because that's just the beginning of it. This is, I'll probably just clean that off. How to incorporate into a social studies lesson. And I'll click that. It saved it. There it is. Also, you can do things. I'm not telling you have to do this, but you are more than welcome to do it. There's design questions up here. You can hit design. You can choose an image that you want. You can pick a GIF. You can do a design with Canva. I usually just do a GIF just because it's an attention getter. So if we type French Revolution, and let's see what pops up. Oh, the guillotine, always nice. The Muppets. I'll go something that looks a little more French Revolution and put it there. And as you can see, you can have it do a half or full page. I'll probably do half. Yeah, that looks a little better. And as you can see, you can compact, you can choose how you want it to be displayed. And that should do that. And that's kind of how you do a wakelet. Sorry, I know that that editing part got a little chunky or clunky there. Um, but when you share it, you're going to hit share. Just like everything else, you've got to make sure that anyone can view it. This is the whole thing with the like with that puzzle. If you want to, you can give me a QR code, or you can just send a link. I usually the link is this, either or. Most people do the link. Make sure you do publish this so it can be viewed. And then again, when you go back and share it, just copy the link, and that's what you're going to submit. Now you're probably saying you're saying all this like I know what I'm supposed to do. You're gonna make a wakelet just like I did, and you're gonna put so many items in there based on your content. I believe I have 10 on the assignment, which I like. I think it'll get to the point, but before you hold me to that, let me go back. Let's cruise on down to this week just to make sure that I'm not overlooking anything. 10 resources. There you go. I have not gotten into the standards. It does mention something about standards. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that a little bit towards the end, um, because you're going to have to do something related to your placement. You are more than welcome to do it. I might even send out an email this week if you want to think ahead of the game a little bit. But when I'm talking about the standards, I'm talking about the West Virginia state standards for your content area. If you've not looked at those, I know people are in different places in the program. You might want to. I'll send them out if you're curious, but you don't have to list that on the wakelet. I just want 10 resources within that, and I want it shared. Um, and then again, needs to be around the content area. At the top, you can give it a funny title or something like that, just so I kind of know what the content is. But that's it. Just make it shareable. And I will say this, I think I caught everything that was on here related to that. But I used to do a week where it was Wakelet and Padlet. I do Padlet as a separate week now, because I use Padlet a lot, and I think there's a lot that you can do with it. So there's no Padlet this week. If you see that, I think I caught them all, but just in case. But that should do it. That's this week's lesson. It's on Wakelet. Make sure you do 10 sources. You create one. I'll send out like I say, the standards. I think it would be very good if everyone looked at them and picked one. And if you do see one that you like and you think your content area will connect, throw it in there. Throw it on the wakelet at the top and just say meeting West Virginia Standard such and such and such. I'll send it out this week. Actually, I'll make sure it's posted on there too. But if you ever want to find them, since I'm on here filming, I might as well just show you. We'll just do West Virginia. Let's do Google. West Virginia State Teaching Standards. As you can look, I look up the social studies all the time. Let's look. Teaching standards. Everyone's discipline has these. Hopefully you've looked at them before, or you've talked about them. If you've had, obviously, if you've had methodology, you should have talked about them. But, and there's the professional teaching standards. Those are the ones you all have to like follow, but I'll click those real quick. As you can see. Usually the easiest thing I find, West Virginia's used to have a very awesome teaching standards page, and it's gotten a little more convoluted. It's too clunky now. I'm using that word a lot. I don't like how they've kind of done it, but for example, I'll just type in social studies and it should pull right up. There we are. They usually pull right up. It's almost easier to do this than it is to do a regular search. There you are. As you can see, you have to go through all that. It tells you about the standards, but as you can see, there's kindergarten standards for social studies, and there's the standard right there. So there's a civics. It's always good to me that when you're doing something like Wakelet, kind of even if you're just picking images, what are things that might relate back to that standard? Um, I'm not telling you have to put it on there, but just definitely keep it in mind. I think it's just something that can maybe help you when you're in the field, especially if you kind of know what you're going to be teaching. But again, these are just social studies. You can do this for any of them. I'll put this stuff up on the website though, if you're interested. With that being said, sorry, I almost wrapped it up and then I got a little long-winded. Just go ahead and close this out. I hope everyone has a great week. Look forward to the wakelets, and I will talk to you later. Sorry, that was an odd transition to the end, but have a good week. Talk to you later. Bye. Do, 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 do. And we'll stop. There it went.